All right, welcome back to Here's the Deal. We are live. Thanks for joining. If you can hear me, give me put a 1 in the room. By the way, guys, if you want to support this channel, the best thing you can do, and it's free, is just to hit the like button and share this video with everybody you know on social media. It really helps the channel. It helps me overcome the algorithms and really all of your favorite anti-tyranny channels, let's put it. Support them by giving them a like. Make sure you share it on Facebook or wherever, whatever social media you're on, and help them overcome the algorithms, because it's getting harder and harder to reach a wider and wider audience, especially with this kind of content right here. And the reason I do this kind of content is because I want to change my world, and I know you guys out there want to change your world. I'm sick of what's going on with our world. And a lot of times I like to just get back to basics. And one of the basic things I wanted to get back to was just the definition of tyranny, because we throw it around a lot. It's a very serious word, and it's a very serious action. People who think that they have the right to violate you or violate your rights or take away your rights is something that we should never tolerate in any society, especially a society that calls themselves a civilized society or just society. So tyranny is a cruel and oppressive government or rule. A nation under cruel and oppressive government, cruel, unreasonable, or arbitrary use of power or control. We know where this leads. We know where the cruel, unreasonable, arbitrary use of power and control leads. It leads to massive amounts of dead bodies. It leads to massive amounts of slavery. And that's what government is. Government lived out. I mean, you can put any logical definition if you want to government, but just watch how government and government agents and government officials live out the term government. They really believe they have a higher claim over your life and property than you. They think it's okay to initiate an unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong because they're government. They have a uniform. They have a shiny badge. They have an FBI ID. So they think that they can do things that if you try to do the exact same thing that they did, it would be deemed as criminal activity. You know why? Because it's criminal activity. What cops do to us, for the most part, I'm not going to put a percentage number on it, but a high percentage of the time, what law enforcers are doing is engaging in criminal activity against the very people that they claim to protect and serve. And that's what makes it worse. What makes the whole thing worse is that they say they're here to protect and serve, and they do the exact opposite. I'll protect you against all enemies, foreign and domestic, they'll tell us. And then they turn around and become the very domestic terrorists that they said they would protect us from. That's why you're seeing to protect and serve disappear from all these cruisers. They used to say it all over the place. To protect and serve, to serve and protect. But we know what they're doing. They're not serving and protecting. They're harassing and collecting. NC Tyrant Hunter gave me this video the other day, and he said, hey, you should really take a look at this. So we're going to take a look at it through NC Tyrant Hunter's channel. But what this is let me just kind of encapsulate it real quick before we watch this guy. And the reason I entitled this video, Drunk Guy Epically Stands Against Montgomery Tyrants, is because that's what he did. Injustice against one man. I don't care if he's drunk. I don't care if he doesn't have any teeth, because this guy is drunk, or it looks like he's inebriated in some way, possibly. It looks like he doesn't have any teeth, and he's old. But if he can stand up against tyranny, you can stand up against tyranny. And that's why I want to show you this video right here, because injustice against one man anywhere is injustice committed against all men everywhere. And let me just say this before we get started. Let me say 3 things. How can you enforce a law while remaining ignorant of the very law that you're supposed to be enforcing? That's number 1. Number 2, how does an intoxicated man know the law better than the professional law enforcers? And number 3, what honor should be bestowed on a guy who's pressured not only by the badge tyrants in this video, but also by his family, and yet under all that pressure, the family pressure, the tyranny pressure, hey, if you don't obey, if you don't comply with the authority, you're going down. We're going to arrest you. We're going to take away your freedom. We're going to economically terrorize you. What should be done in society? What awards should be given to somebody who's going to stand up against all that pressure? And that's a lot of pressure, and stands on his rights anyway. Maybe not even realizing that as he stands for his rights, he's standing for the rights of everybody who's about to get oppressed by the authority. So let's take a look at some of this here. By the way, thank you, NC Tyrant Hunter, for putting this out.
Bam! Take that.
Let me know if you guys can hear this audio. I don't want to keep on going and you guys don't hear anything.
Wait, you're being recorded. What's your name and badge number?
Okay, that's fine being recorded.
Name and badge number.
Well, listen, let me tell you why we got called here.
Okay.
This is my scene now. We got
Still.
called up here because somebody called and said that there was argument going on between husband and wife, and the kids were hiding somewhere and saying, please help me. That's why we got called.
no,
here.
Oh my God.
That's why we got called.
Okay, hey.
no, sir.
Name and badge number,
you
sir.
report me all day long.
I'm Deputy Cruz.
Deputy Cruz?
Yeah.
Do you have a badge number?
What you mean? I'm Deputy
I
Cruz.
need your badge number, please.
Listen, brother.
I'm a taxpayer. You're a public servant. You have to give your name and badge number.
Okay.
Call in your supervisor. If you don't believe me,
supervisor.
I am a First Amendment.
I'm the supervisor.
Okay, you're the supervisor.
supervisor.
Your name is what?
Deputy Little, Montgomery County
you deal with
Sheriff's
him.
Office.
Please back up off me.
Deputy Little, Montgomery
up off
County
me.
Sheriff's
Come over
Department.
here with me. Come over
No,
here.
sir, you're not going to do this. I have civil rights.
You want to talk to me? You come over here and talk to me.
Okay, you came to me.
Report me all you want to.
No, sir, you came up to
Lower
me.
your voice. Come over here and talk to me.
Can you imagine somebody coming on your property and giving you a hassle like this? We got a call. We understand that there's, probably some kids in jeopardy here. Coming on your property, treating you like this. Instead of de-escalating, it's almost like they major in escalation practices.
No, they came up. Okay, I will talk to them.
Okay, but
I will not take no
calm down,
directives. I have a First Amendment right.
Okay.
Yeah, Flip,
Okay?
just calm down.
Please don't come at me. You came to my property.
Listen to me. Your mouth is going to get your ass in trouble.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you've been drinking.
Another violation. Go ahead.
You've been damn drinking.
Your mouth is going to get your ass in trouble. You continue to stand here on your property while we're invading your property. You stand here and keep running your mouth. Your First Amendment right to freedom of speech is going to get you in trouble. Could you explain how that happens, Officer Little?
And this is my scene. We got called a person. This is my scene.
Is
You
that
can call me
against
all
the
you
law?
want to,
Is
and I'm
that-
trying to be respectful to you.
Drinking-
Now you had too much damn alcohol in your system.
That no, you're
I
assuming.
can smell it.
Yeah, I don't give a damn what you smell. You came to my property. I can do what the hell I want to on my property.
That's right.
That's my First Amendment right.
But I got caught here, so now this is my
Okay,
scene.
yeah, so, all right, now, if I heard that you were,
They believe that too. I got called here, so your property is my scene. I'm in control, not you. Imagine servants are talking like this. Imagine if they said we're the public masters. How bad it would be. Well, they act like public masters, but say they're public servants. It's just a crazy world we live in.
sitting on the street corner, would you be in trouble because I heard hearsay?
Okay.
You got caught here on hearsay. No. You got caught here on hearsay.
Listen to me.
Just stop.
2 minutes into it.
Listen to him.
Hey,
Sir,
people, listen to me.
Listen, can I
Here
have
we
your
go.
ID? I need your
No, you
ID.
cannot.
All right, well, you're about to go to jail if you don't give me your ID.
Oh, really?
Whoa.
Here we go, another one.
We're going to take away 100% of your freedoms if you don't make yourself insecure in your person. If you don't help me violate your Fourth Amendment rights by telling us who you are so we can write you down in the little report that's going to go in that database forever, then we're about to take away 100% of your freedoms, arrest you, kidnap you, and throw you into a rape cage. There's the issuance of a threat. Everything that cops do are backed by the implied threat of force and violence and state-funded brutality. That's how it works.
Hey,
Just
get
give
ready
me
to
your
bail me out. You
ID.
hear me? You're gonna buy. You're gonna.
Failure to give your
Your
ID.
quality immunity. Your
ask you one more time.
Your immunity.
Just give me your ID.
Qualified immunity will not stand up.
One more time,
I
ID.
will.
Flip, give him
more
your
time,
ID,
ID.
man.
May I have your ID?
Flip, just
No,
give him
you
your
cannot.
ID.
All right, you're going to jail. Give me your ID.
Okay, under what suspicionable reason?
Because
Give me an articulate.
Call
Give him your ID.
Give me your ID.
I like that new word. On what suspicionable reason? Is suspicionable a word? If it's not, it should be.
Give me your ID.
Give me a reason. What
Give me your
what crime have I committed?
There we go. Hands on. There we go.
Hey, get your...
Guys, that is assault. How does the world not see that this is an assault? How are they so blinded and deceived by a uniform, a badge, and a gun, and state official language and terminology? If you did this to somebody else, people would look. There would be an outcry. It's like, I can't believe you took that guy's phone from him. I can't believe you tied him up. I can't believe you threw him in the back of your car. I can't believe you threatened to lock him up in your basement.
What crime has he committed?
What crime?
Has he committed?
Listen to me.
No, I'm not gonna
No,
listen.
because that's your problem. Your motherfuckers don't want to listen to you.
Whoa.
I'm this camera because you always.
That's the problem. You MRFers don't listen. That's professional, officer.
I was going to record whenever something's going on. Now listen to me.
Okay.
He failed to give me his ID. He didn't want to give me
You
his ID.
failed to give your name and badge number.
I gave my name. My name is Deputy Little, Montgomery County Sheriff's Office.
Can I get both of y'all's cards?
Okay.
Are you the daughters?
Yes.
It doesn't matter what I am.
Just trying to figure out.
Yeah, because y'all
we're
come up here and y'all
Don't put your hands on me.
Did you love that? We need to get a whole string of things that cops tell us, and we need to walk. Hey, saw you sitting here in the parking lot, officer. We got a call. You were looking awfully suspicious. What's that? What do I smell? We need you to ID. We need to get your ID. If you don't give us your ID, if you don't step out of the car and let us pat you down right now, things are going to go south real quick. Here's the deal. You got one or two options.
Don't you put your hands on me.
We got called for domestic.
Domestic violence?
Yes, domestic. Kids are hiding under vehicles, crying for help. That's
Kids
what
are
we got.
crying under vehicles?
Yeah, crying for help. That's what the information we got.
No kid is crying for help.
That's what we got called over here for, all right? Can you please calm down so we can figure out what's going on?
Okay, but why did you arrest my dad? My dad hasn't.
Because this one.
We got called here.
Okay.
We just
Okay, here's what I got from this one.
we didn't come up here
So,
for the hell of it.
Hold on, there was no argument.
and then they also said that the kids were underneath the cars, crying and asking for help.
Yeah, because my kids were out here.
Don't you love it? The people who call in on you get to remain anonymous, and you can't face your accuser. They could literally make this stuff up out of nowhere and go, hey, we got a call. Maybe they know about your Facebook post. Maybe they know about what you put out on social media. Maybe they, suspect that maybe you have a firearm and they want to declare you a danger to yourself or to others. Them being on your property, trying to, make sure everything's okay. We got a call and we're just here to make sure things are okay. That can go south on you so quick, guys. Do not trust a kind, friendly, smiling cop who's just trying to figure out if you're okay. These welfare checks that they conduct, a lot of times at the end of the welfare check, the person that they wanted to see if they were doing okay ends up not being alive because of police action.
Playing.
But he wasn't doing nothing wrong.
I had 4
There was
kids.
no arguing.
They played.
That was very uncalled for you to put your hands on him.
All right, he failed to give me his ID, and I told him he was
Okay, but that is not a crime.
Yes, it is.
I need your.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
Can
Failed to
you
give ID to a
please?
police officer. That is a crime.
No, it is not.
Yes, it is.
No, it is.
Okay, give
Crime.
me.
Committed a crime.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Where does it say in the handbook?
Failing to give you
Please.
ID. That is not a
Listen to
State
me.
the
Stop.
exact.
Stop. Listen to
So
me.
you're gonna yell at me?
So you're gonna yell at me?
Because you guys don't want to let me
No.
Can we talk?
Can we please talk?
We came and tried to talk to y'all.
And I did talk to y'all.
I know. I was
I
talking.
did.
Now-
And then you had the audacity to put your hands on my father
That did not commit a
that
crime.
you had no right to do.
Listen.
we're gonna
I didn't say this.
And you did not even give him his Miranda rights.
Okay, well,
we have a question for his mind rights. We can abstain
what's going on at one
people
point.
for under investigation, all right?
Okay, no,
See, you're making it
I
worse.
no,
than
I
it
did
is.
not. I did not hear you verbally say his Miranda rights to him.
Let's be real clear in case you don't know it. Maybe there's some new people on the channel. It's not a crime to not give your ID. You don't have, you can state, there's a Fifth Amendment still in the Constitution on U.S. soil that's supposed to be heeded, even though it's not. You have a right to be secure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. And more importantly, nobody, including a badged clown, has the right to make you insecure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. Unless they can articulate a crime you've been involved in, or they think you're engaged in currently in a crime, you do not have to give up your ID ever. For any reason. Even if you're driving down the road and they don't have a traffic infraction to lay on you, you don't have to give up your ID. You don't have to make yourself insecure in your person's houses, papers, and effects. And as far as I know, that's in all 50 states.
Sir, you are
Correct me if I'm wrong.
being put under arrest. You have the right to remain silent. You never said
And a lot of people would say, because I've heard the argument, what's the big deal? This could all be over if you just gave them your ID. If you just gave an inch, there's no way the state's going to take a mile. There's just no way. Those who don't learn from that history are definitely doomed to repeat it.
any of that.
Well, we're not
Did you?
talking to him.
No,
We're
no, you did
on the
not.
investigation, so.
And then you violently put your hands on my father, which was not called for.
Violence.
No, that was violent. He wasn't even resisting.
We weren't really, we just putting handcuffs on. Okay?
Yeah, in a very disrespectful way. How about if I disrespect you? How would you like that?
This girl's taking a stand, man. I appreciate
He wants to
that.
show you the text that he got.
This is our call CAD that we have to get when we get calls. Kids hiding under cars yelling, "Help me," and "Don't hurt me." Male Ron Cope Jr. is yelling at wife.
Kids hiding under cars yelling, "Help me." Kids hiding under cars yelling, "Help me." When somebody calls that in, that still doesn't trump individual rights. Officer safety can never legitimately trump individual rights. Individual rights are supposed to be safeguarded above all else. You're supposed to guard with jealous attention the public liberty, not the public safety. Suspect everyone who comes near that precious jewel. Nothing will preserve it, Patrick Henry said, but downright force. And when you give up that force, you are ruined. So I appreciate anybody who takes a stand on truth right here. And that's another thing on the chopping block is truth. The truth is nobody has the right to take away your rights. And when you stand against tyranny for your rights, you're actually doing society a favor. When you cave and you just give your ID, all right, I'll just give them my ID so this can be over with. I don't want to be arrested. I don't want to be kidnapped. I don't want to be incarcerated. I don't want to be thrown into a rape cage. I don't want to be economically terrorized. Don't give in. Don't give in. They count on you giving in. They count on you caving. They count on you being intimidated into giving away your rights.
Caller is neighbor wants to be left anonymous. So we just come out here for the hell of it. I mean,
Caller
we got
wants to be
all out
left
here.
anonymous.
I asked him for his ID. He failed to give me his ID. And that is a crime.
We
I
were
mean, I
not
can pull
out
it
here
up on the computer.
screaming and hollering at each other. We weren't even arguing.
Oh, yeah, one of
The air compressor was running, filling up her tire. We weren't getting a little loud so we can hear each other.
Yeah.
With that running. That's probably what they heard.
Listen, I hate it went down like that, but I don't like nobody getting in my face, yelling at me,
I
screaming at me.
understand that.
Listen, if you want to record me all day long, that is fine. Listen,
Hey.
There ain't no problem with, there ain't a crime in North Carolina for the recording officer. Just as long as you don't get in my face with it.
Right. You're fine. I'm just, I just don't like, because we do have children's services call on them, and it passes. When they come out here, they close it quickly.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had it multiple times, and it still passes for everything, you know, and
Yeah, I
I'm
understand.
just, it's crazy.
But I mean, he's been drinking. I can smell the alcohol.
Yeah,
on him.
he
I can
has been
smell
drinking,
alcohol.
but he's been at home. He's
I know-
allowed
yeah,
to do that.
Hey, as long as he ain't out here drinking and
Nope,
driving. I mean,
he
that's
don't.
the main thing.
He stays at home.
But the thing is, I don't like nobody getting in the face. I mean, he can pull the camera out of him. That's all right. But when I start asking him questions, he refuses to answer my questions, then that's the problem. That is an issue. And I asked him for his ID more than 2 times. Asked for his ID.
Yeah.
No.
But if he was he committing a crime?
He don't have to commit a crime. If I ask him for his ID, he has to give it up. He has to.
Is that true? If a cop asks you for an ID and has not articulated a crime he believes you've been involved in or are involved in, do you have to give up your ID? I mean, you guys tell me. In any state, is it even in their law that you have to give up your ID? Because as far as I've seen, it's their law that you don't have to give up your ID if you haven't been involved in a crime. And what the irony to me is, the people who are telling you need to make yourself insecure in your person, i.e. give up your ID, are the ones who are committing a crime to intimidate you into giving up your ID.
And I mean, I ain't being a butt about it. That's
Yes, he is being a butt about it.
For your ID, you have to give it up. If you don't, you can't go to jail. I mean, that's just real deal. I'm just to the point. I've been
It's
doing
not
this
the
job
real
25
deal.
years,
It's a lie.
And I've been at 2 of the agencies, and that's how we work.
Okay.
So I mean, if you ask for your ID, he's got to give it up.
All right.
All right.
You got a card or anything I can get from you?
Yeah, I'll give you all my information and everything.
Yeah. And can I get his too,
If he
please?
calms down and gives me his information, I'm not gonna take him to jail. I ain't gonna take him to jail.
You're not. I hate it when cops say, I'm not going to take him to jail. Look, I'm going to let you off with a warning. You're not doing me any favors. You should have never pulled me over in the first place. You should have never come on my property in the first place. Now I understand getting call and somebody going, man, there's mayhem breaking out in the yard next to me. There's kids under the car yelling, please help me, help me. I understand anybody responding to a call like that. You don't have to be a badged law enforcer to respond to a call, but when you go out there, start asking a couple questions, everything looks all right to me. What I'm seeing with my eyes doesn't correspond with what was going on in the call, but they want to keep on going. Hey, let me get your ID. We got to do this for the report. I didn't write the rules. I just follow them. Well, that's not even a rule. They're just making stuff up on the fly.
Hey, Cruz,
You ain't gonna take it no way.
I like the stand of this girl. She's really taking a stand. It's like, you're not getting my ID anyway.
Can I talk to him?
Yeah, I crack my window.
I understand.
I know he's going to let me go. You what?
Calm
I swear to
yourself.
God he's going to let me go.
See, yours
I'm
is
still
yourself.
recording.
It is illegal detainment. I don't have to give him my ID. I don't give a who call.
I love this guy's resistance.
Last night. Does that make it true?
When injustice, when I hear somebody like resisting like this and somebody go, come on, you're being unreasonable. Why are you yelling in the backseat of that car while you got those handcuffs on? When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. This guy is just fulfilling his human duty to resist tyranny. Love it.
Okay, but you gotta calm down first. He's gonna come and talk to you. But just calm down.
I'm here in your team.
Calm yourself down.
I want to recite the damn Constitution.
Just tell
No,
him to
I
calm the
got
fuck down.
constitutional right. He gave a note to uphold it.
Good Lord, let me call down and let him know what the hell.
No, Tony didn't make it.
Here lies Kitty Thomas says, only if the keys, so they can ID you, only if you have the keys in the ignition. If you're parked with no keys in the ignition, you don't have to show your license. If they don't have anything on you, if they've pulled you over, you know you weren't speeding, you have GPS to prove, and you have a camera, you don't have to, as far as I understand, I'm not a lawyer and I'm not giving legal advice here, but as far as I understand, if they don't have a reason to pull you over, if they say your brake lights were out and you look and your brake lights aren't out, you didn't operate your turning signal, you have dash cam video to show, you put it on 75 feet before the turn. If they don't have a reason to pull you over, even if you're in a vehicle that's being operated on the public roadways, if they don't have a reason to pull you over, as far as I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, you do not have to give your ID. We saw that the other day with, man, I can't remember. I'll try to find the video. I can't remember the channel name, but the guy successfully, even after he called the supervisor and the supervisor came out, they said, yeah, go on, get out of here. He was in his truck with his wife and kids, and he rejected the initial claims that the operator of the vehicle, the cops claims that the operator of the vehicle was on his cell phone. When he showed the officer, hey, my phone's mounted to my dashboard, dashboard, the cop goes, oh, okay, I was mistaken. Well, I still pulled you over for speed. And he goes, the hell you did? I was going 16 in a 20 or 25. And turns out the cop didn't even know what the speed limit was on the road that he was about to give him a moving violation for. So in that, he retained his right to be secure in his person by not giving his ID as he was operating a motor vehicle on the public roadways. That's just one example.
Heron made it. Oh, wait, sorry, buddy. I'm still illegally detained. I'm still detained, right? Okay, yeah, I'm
Okay. Like I showed home and
Okay, all right. I don't care how intoxicated I am, brother.
Listen, I ain't worried about you being drunk. You don't even drunk.
I need a beer myself.
Okay. Can you give me a code ID to where it says that I have to give you my ID unless you consider me in the middle of a crime or about
What if I
No, sir, I want to know my constitutional rights. It's the First Amendment, my friend. Okay, y'all guys need to be educated.
Digging a hole.
Oh.
You're digging a hole. You're about to go to jail. Listen to me.
You are.
Listen to me. I'm trying to get you out
You're digging a hole.
He needs to shut the hell up.
Yeah, guys, I just looked it up. The name of the video that I was just referring to was from the YouTube channel Last American Patriot. And what I'll do is if you missed it, I'll drop this link in the chat room for you so you can take a look at the video.
I don't know what he's going to. Calm down.
I'm going to get out of these damn handcuffs.
Calm down.
I love that.
Fuck down.
Calm down.
I'm going to get out of these damn handcuffs.
I'll get you please. If you don't know your rights, you don't have none.
Yep.
Okay. Am I free to go?
If you don't know your rights, you don't have them.
Directed. You gonna tell me what to do?
You're under arrest.
All right, bail money. Get me out. I'm taking his ass.
Try to talk to him.
Are they taking you?
Yeah. Because he wouldn't listen. I mean, I know his rights too.
Yeah.
But when he gets belligerent with the police, you can't do that.
It don't matter if his. Stop.
Athena, stop it.
Go sit down.
No!
Then hush your mouth.
Don't
Stop
put your
it.
hands on me.
I'm not gonna touch you.
Sounds like the kid is like overcome with the injustice of this situation.
No!
Yes.
I'm trying to damn talk to him.
I know.
I want to take him to jail, but I'm trying to damn talk to him. This mouth is getting his ass in trouble. He don't want to let me listen. Don't want to let me talk to him. If you came over here with me, if that's your husband,
Fiance.
that fiance. All right.
Been with him for 20 years, working on more.
Yeah, and he's a good man. He helps everybody.
I mean, it's the alcohol. Alcohol makes y'all a different person.
I don't drink.
No, she don't.
Alcohol makes you a different person. Well, can I ask you, officer, do steroids make you a different person too? I'm just wondering, how many people in your department do you think are on steroids? And besides that, didn't you come to this guy's property? Can't he drink alcohol on his own property? Can't he be inebriated on his own property? Does he really have to tolerate a badged tyrant messing with him, taking away his freedoms, trying to, attempting to kidnap him, throw him into a cage?
Hey, try your portable. Try your car. Yeah, try your car radio. Do you want to come over here with me? So I can try to talk to him. Because all I need to get is his information.
All right.
And just go from there.
What your name?
Aaron, go, buddy. Go down there with your sister.
Yeah, that was actually a good point by NC Tyrant Hunter, putting the words on the front right here. The tyrant already knows who he is. He just wants to hear him say it because they want you to submit. That's what psychopaths do. Psychopaths want to control you. They want you to submit to their words. It makes them feel good. It gives them a sense of power. You cannot continue to go through this life relinquishing your power to narcissistic, tyrannical psychopaths and expect this world to change for the better. That's why I really appreciate it. That's why I'm doing this particular video right here, not just because NC Tyrant Hunter reached out to me and said, hey, why don't you do this video right here? But because that guy right there is basically standing alone against, his world. His world could literally cave in. He could be economically terrorized. He could lose 100% of his rights, but he's still going to stand for freedom. I don't know what you guys call that, but I call that integrity.
Go down there with your sister.
Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button, guys. I appreciate you giving that lonely like button some love.
I am calm, but these damn things are hurting me. Mama, you recording this? These things are hurting me. They're cutting into my...
Yeah, I agree, Suave House. Suave House says qualified immunity makes you a different person. If alcohol makes you a different person, then being drunk on your own power. Being drunk on alcohol does make you a different person. Kind of changes who you are and how you respond to life and what your actions are. But so does qualified immunity. Power corrupts. It has a corrupting influence on the core of who you are to the point where it changes you so much that you stop being a moralist and you start being that conformist who just does what he's told regardless of what is right. And then they go beyond their laws, start making up fictitious laws, telling you that they have a right to violate your rights because, hey, I asked you to ID me, and if you disobey, I'm going to put my hands on your property, put my hands on you, and start attempting to kidnap you.
Would you please, sir?
Turn your body like this. There you go.
Somebody's asking me in the chat room to look up the last video of Long Island audits. Is it the very last video called Journalist Arrested for Failure to Obey Despite Tyrants Not Having Jurisdiction? Is that the one? If you guys want me to cover that, I haven't been keeping up with that. So if you want me to cover it, put a 1 in the room and just put Long Island audits in the room, or LA1 or something like that. Long Island audits. Well, is it LIA? Long Island audits.
I'm gonna do the other one. Okay. Right there. The other.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. That does hurt.
Try that one right there. There you go.
Like that?
What? All right. Now put him in front of you. You're going to cover the problem. Now put him in front of you.
No, sir.
I'm going to put him in front of you, man.
Okay.
Because all I want to do is get you information.
I'm not violent, buddy. I'll give you my information, buddy, but I'm going to tell you that I know my constitutional right. By law, I don't have to. I haven't committed a crime. Okay? There is the RAS.
That right there. Having a person that you're supposed to be protecting and serving, bringing up to you and refreshing your memory, just in case you forgot about, hey, I have these things called constitutional rights that you swore to protect, defend, and uphold, should immediately sober any power tripper up. And they should be so sensitized to that in their academy training or whatever that, hey, the pinnacle here is not that we go home safe, fellow law enforcement agents. The summit beyond which there is nothing higher is constitutional rights. That should sober them up right there, but it doesn't. Why? Because they don't think highly or at all about constitutional rights. They're not sensitized to it at all. It doesn't startle them. It doesn't sober them up because they don't care about it. All they care about is exerting power and control over you and I.
Articulate suspicion. Reasonable articulate suspicion. You don't have to provide an ID unless you are under suspicion.
Listen to this guy.
About to commit a crime, in the middle of a crime, or have already committed a crime.
They should totally know this.
Now, you're getting hearsay from a phone call, buddy. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, that violates all the constitutional rights, First Amendment. There is 5 parts to the First Amendment. Okay? There is the freedom of religion, freedom of speech.
Listen to this guy.
Freedom of press, like what she's doing. Freedom to assemble and freedom to petition.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Rattle all 5 off. In case you need an acronym to help you out, RAPS, RAPPS, religion, assembly, press, petition, and speech. Those are the 5 articles in the First Amendment that I bet most law enforcement officers don't know.
Okay, that means if you do me wrong, I can go through these same channels and have you in all kinds of trouble.
It applies evenly.
You need to know you gave an oath. You gave
Look at this guy.
To uphold the constitutional rights, which I have. I'm a taxpayer. To be honest with you, buddy.
I'm a taxpayer too.
Okay.
Guess what we shouldn't be? Guess what would happen if we withdrew ourselves from that system that empowers? It's the bloodline of the beast, basically. Take away that bloodline. Do not declare yourself as I'm a taxpayer. Look, I'm tax cattle. Therefore, I should be free to have my. If you're tax cattle, you don't have any freedom. If the Federal Reserve Zio International Banking Cartel controls the value of your currency, you cannot be a free man. Think about it. Everything hinges on the value of the dollar in the United States. And, by extension in the world, because it's still the world reserve currency. It's fading, though. It's fading. The purchasing power is going through going into the sewer. But to declare yourself a taxpayer is already to declare defeat. What would happen if just 10%, 9 or 10% of us just, what? I'm not playing the game anymore. 10% of 323 million Americans is 32.3 million Americans. Do you think there's enough prisons? Do you think there's enough manpower at the IRS, domestic terror cell, to do anything about that? There's a lot of education that needs to be had by all of us, guys. A lot of education, which is knowledge, and knowledge is the empowerment that we need to actually stand up for and exercise our rights, or we're going to lose them. We've lost a lot already. There is still a semblance. There are breadcrumbs of freedom still on the table, but they're being wiped away every single day.
You are your boss just like I am your boss. I paid for that badge. I paid for that suit. I paid for that car. This one I'm sitting in. I paid for these damn handcuffs.
Brother, we need some new uniforms, bro. We need new uniforms. I'm tired of wearing this.
God, that's pretty funny. I mean, that is funny and it's not all at the same time. Well, the Tyrants need some new uniforms. If you're paying for uniforms, we need some new ones. It's funny and it's not. It's more not funny than it is funny.
I'm being real with you.
Something cooler.
I'm being real with you.
I'm being real with you too.
This is my constitutional
That's what he said.
All I ask, man, why you come to my house and put me in handcuffs?
Let me show you this.
You put hands on, you put hands on with me.
Let me show you this.
Let him show this is what he got.
Okay. 179.
Yeah, Raise, I agree. 120, Raise 120, but still 10% is a lot. 30%, of course, would be way better. 11% would be better than 10%. But yeah, I agree. 30% would be really, really good. 30% of 300 million is 90 million. It's almost 100 million people. Can you imagine if 100 million people just woke up and go, what the frick are we doing? I am no longer voting for the chance of my own oppression, and I'm keeping 100% of what I own, and that ain't criminal. And 100 million people really had that down in their souls. Can you imagine what we could do? Knowledge is power, and that would be extremely powerful. And no standing army can stand against an idea whose time has come. And I think that idea has come and gone.
Yeah.
What's up, the best cop live? I was seeing kids hiding under covers, yelling, help me, don't hurt me. Males out of Georgia was yelling at white unknown weapons.
Okay.
Caller his neighbor wants to be left anonymous.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Ding or dang? Ding or dang?
Ding or dang.
Ding, ding, and dang. Ding, ding, and dang.
I explained.
All right, well, guess what? I heard they growing dope inside their house, and that their grandma was up under the rose bush. Would you like to go investigate that?
Well, we'll check it out.
I won't remain I'm just like your text said. And I do have an ID, and I will give it to you.
Thank you, Bill, for that Cash App. I really appreciate it, man.
Hey, Ronald, were you from Ohio back in the day?
Yes, I was. I do have a warrant up there.
It is non-extraditable.
After one time, I'll try to
Go
help $1,057, and they'll squash that shit. But guess what? Them ain't going back.
You know you go back there, they're gonna lock you up, man.
Can you let him go now, please?
You got his ID and everything?
Maybe he's gonna let me go.
I'm just trying to talk to him. That's all I'm trying to do.
So he's still asking for that ID. Even though they're all being cool and keep buy me a new uniform and they're joking around and stuff, he's still being a tyrant. Nice tyrants are still tyrants. Cordial tyrants are still tyrants. It's like, yeah, but at least the officer was professional. A professional what? A professional tyrant? A professional thief? A professional oppressor? Who cares if they're professional? Who cares if the tyranny was exacted on you with a smiling face? It's still tyranny. Who cares if it's Democrat tyranny or Republican tyranny? Don't you just want no tyranny in your life? Why? Because tyranny is criminal activity, and criminal activity is evil. And anybody who foists criminal activity on you is being an evil person, and no just society can tolerate that. It's beyond it's beyond injustice, guys. Beyond injustice.
Go put the girls back.
I know that. You just came on the call that was hearsay. That was all. That's all that is. Hearsay.
I don't mind. I don't like it. Ain't nothing against people reporting law enforcement. Hey, it's been done to me plenty of times.
Yes, sir. I know.
don't mind.
Go down there with your baby sister.
Yeah, most definitely. But when I ask for
Cowboy,
ID and they
come.
give it to me, they
Cowboy.
gotta give it to me.
Listen to what he said. He said, when I ask for ID and I tell you to give it to me, you got to give it to me. That is a lie. That is not true. That is a violation of the very Constitution that this guy in the backseat of this car just tried to articulate to Officer Little here.
What code is that?
I don't know the code, but
there ain't none.
I know the general statute.
There is none.
I don't know the code. He's been doing this for 5 years and he doesn't know the code, the simple code of, yeah, when I ask you for your ID, you got to give it to me. And even if there was a code, even if there was an ordinance, even if there was a regulation or a law, those don't trump or not supposed to trump the supreme law of the land, which is the Fourth Amendment in this case.
General statute.
No, sir, there is not.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Not going to argue with you. Why? Because you don't have an argument.
You can prove or have reasonable suspicion that I am committing a crime, in the middle of a crime, or about to commit a crime.
Holy cow, William. Thanks for that super chat or the Cash App. William says, love the live chat. Love from Philly. Peace, brother. Thank you for that. And Jeremiah, thanks for that Cash App. Appreciate you, brother, he says. Thank you, Jeremiah.
Or I've already committed the crime. then you can ID me. And then I have to.
If you guys want to do the Cash App as opposed to the Super Chat, YouTube takes 30% right off the top. Cash App, I think, is like 2.6% or something. So, guys, I appreciate the support. The biggest support you can give me is just give this video a like. Hit that like button right now, or you'll forget about it before you leave the room, and share this video with everybody you know. And it's free. If you want to support in addition to that, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you.
Give that ID to you. You might want to go back and check your statute, sir. Keep recording this.
Well,
Keep recording. Always record.
North Carolina
Even when they're being cool.
He'll come and see you if you don't believe me.
Yeah, how about I make a phone call to try to, matter of fact, let me make a phone call.
Yes, sir.
Let me make a phone call to a higher up.
All right.
Going to make a phone call to the higher up. Now, the sergeant he's going to get on the phone doesn't know any more than Officer Little here.
Listen to this.
Listen.
It was an anonymous caller.
It's pitiful.
Okay, this is my sergeant. This is my sergeant, Jim Llewellyn. So he's going to tell you pretty much what I told you.
Yes, sir. I'm listening.
Yes, sir. It's Sergeant Llewellyn with the Sheriff's Office. If we were called to that residence from that residence, yes, my deputy has every right to initiate an investigation to make sure that nothing's going on or there's been no domestic occurred. However, if no domestic has occurred, he'll cut you loose and we'll be on our way. But if the call originated from that address, then we're going to investigate and make sure that no crimes occurred.
Sir, you say you're Sergeant who?
Llewellyn.
Sergeant Llewellyn.
Who was that again?
Badge
Sergeant
131.
Llewellyn?
Yes.
What is your badge number?
It's 131.
131.
All right,
All right, yes, sir. Now, I am sitting here in handcuffs, illegally detained on a phone call, anonymous, did not come from this
I wouldn't even
house.
call it illegally detained. Let's just get to the heart of the matter. Criminally detained for having done nothing wrong. There's no victim. I haven't harmed anybody, threatened to harm anybody, stolen anybody's property, damaged any property, and not offered to pay for it. So you got me sitting in the back of this cop car with handcuffs on in a criminal manner.
Okay, now I'm sitting, I have been hands-on treated, okay, and this clearly violates my constitutional rights, okay. Now I will come in and get an informal complaint. They came to my private residence, my home, asked for me, and then demanded ID. I told them if they cannot give me a reasonable, articulable suspicion that I have committed a crime, about to commit a crime, or in the middle of a crime, then I don't have to ID.
Listen to him. Listen, he's trying to talk to you.
Well, no, I am not done talking. I have a freedom of speech by the amendment right. My First Amendment. It's the First Amendment because... Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, sir. I'll let you talk.
Okay. Once again, I'm going to reiterate that my deputies were dispatched to your residence per dispatch. We'll pull the can report.
My deputies were dispatched to your residence does not trump individual rights. We got a call that there was something horrible going on does not trump individual rights.
Which is our computerized assisted dispatch. And we were dispatched to your residence. Now herein lies the problem.
So old.
All my deputy asked you to do was identify yourself, correct?
Exactly.
Do you have a problem identifying yourself?
Well, yeah, when they come and pull me out of my route, then ask me dumb questions when they're violating my constitutional rights, I don't have a right to do that. If I don't know my rights, I don't have none. Y'all
And furthermore, officer, you throw it back on him. How does it help society, and how does it help to advance American freedoms if I give up my freedom? Please answer that question. I know you think I should relinquish my ID. I know you think I should be insecure in my person, but how does me doing that, how does me submitting to tyranny advance freedom and push back the tide of tyranny?
not come here and give me directives on my property all because of a hearsay phone call.
Amen.
Sir, okay? That violates my... You gave an oath to uphold the United States Constitution, to protect and to serve. Know your rights, sir, before you go pointing fingers at people, okay?
Holding the line.
I'm with an audit that it's called Cop Watcher, North Carolina Tyrant Hunter,
He just identified. He's like, dude, I get more information from North Carolina Tyrant Hunter than you guys, than your deputy Little has gotten in 5 years of being on the force. They don't call it force for nothing, by the way. Government is not eloquence. It's not reason. It is force. And like fire, it's a dangerous servant and a fearful master, as we can see from this kind of encounter right here. So shout out to NC Tyrant Hunter for educating this guy right here who knows all 5 points of the First Amendment, which I'm convinced in my heart that Officer Little does not.
Support these systems.
This is great, man.
I'm going to explain to you one more time, Dave. The sheriff will be in his office at 9 a.m. Monday morning if you file a complaint.
This sergeant does not care about anybody's individual rights. All he cares about is increasing the coffers of his police department in Montgomery, Alabama. All he cares about is safeguarding and protecting his officers as they trip on their own power and authority under the qualified immunity. That's all he cares about. He doesn't care about this guy's rights right here. Maybe he cares about getting his butt out of the sling and, hey, maybe you shouldn't arrest that guy because we might have a lawsuit coming because he knows more than we do about our own supposed laws.
Once again, I'm going to reiterate that my deputies, under reasonable suspicion, was dispatched to your residence because of a domestic taking place.
Cops playing, exactly.
All they have to do is identify people that are there. So if you have a problem with identifying yourself, not to mention the fact that they were flagged down by children in the yard that something was going on in your residence, correct?
Sir, reasonable suspicion has no code behind it, no statute whatsoever. That is called a hearsay call. Okay, and they call it anonymous. I still have a right to face my accuser.
And don't get me wrong, guys. I still don't like RAS, reasonable articulable suspicion, because there's so many subjective factors that could be forced into that. But it's still reasonable articulable suspicion that a crime has been or is being committed. And I don't even like the has been, is being, or will be committed, because how do they know a crime is about to be committed? You know, unless I don't know, just go crazy. Unless I'm in the vestibule of a bank with a mask on and a hammer and a gun out going like this. Okay, maybe I can see where somebody would suspect that a crime is about to be committed, that a crime is possibly afoot. But getting a call from an anonymous caller and then trampling on somebody else's rights is a completely different animal.
And y'all not gonna give me the number, okay? So y'all gonna leave my enemies my enemies.
Listen to him.
Nobody wants to listen to me, right?
I'm listening to you. But
I like this guy.
I'm trying to explain to you why we constitutionally have a right to be in your residence right now. Because we were under good faith.
Am I free to go?
That a crime was occurring. Now, that being said, let me just turn this around on you. If a crime was occurring against your person and we were dispatched there, would you...
Was or is?
I'm sorry?
Was or is? There's a difference.
Yeah, you're right here.
If a crime
Was.
at another, let's say your neighbor's house,
Okay.
would you not want us to respond to it?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's what's happening here. My deputies, under good faith, were dispatched to your residence.
Hey.
No, I don't.
Time, son.
No, sir.
See, you know what erases that? It sounds like a good argument. Basically what he's saying is, okay, if we got a call that some crime was being committed, if you called us and told us that a crime was being committed at your neighbor's house, would you want us to come and respond to it? And this guy says yes. The difference here is they're responding to this call, and the guilty party was supposed to be then. They see all the kids, they see the wife or the fiance, whoever, they see this guy that, this criminal activity, the property on whose property this is supposed to be happening. They see everything's cool. Why are you continuing to ask for an ID? Because we got to make our report. But we got to make a report does not trump individual rights. We got a call from an anonymous caller does not trump individual rights. We're just going to go ahead and decide to violate your rights, because if we ask you to give us an ID, you got to do it. And if you don't do it, we're going to treat you like a criminal. Listen, guys, they literally are treating this guy with handcuffs on like he actually committed a crime, like he actually snatched a lady's purse. Like he actually, broke into a bank and stole a whole bunch of money. That's how they're treating this guy. All he did was refuse to give his ID. I just want to take us back to that.
I do not. I do not have to identify myself. That's why. That's wrong. No, thank, I'm going to disagree with that.
Mark Jason Walker says, the Officer Littles of the world should be arrested and put in jail for 10 years for violating our Constitution. How many times do you think they'd violate rights if you started doing that to them? When injustice against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men, including the hearts of the sons of men who are wearing badges and uniforms, are fully set in them to do evil. What if they started getting some serious punishment? You violate anybody's rights, you guys are going down. The public is trusting you, putting their full faith and trust in you guys, and you're going to turn around and you're going to act like the very criminals you're supposed to be protecting them against?
Go ahead and let this guy go. If he wants to make a formal complaint, he can go ahead and go.
I will come and make a formal complaint.
Well, make sure my name.
131.
Yes, sir.
I've got it all on recording. No, he said 131 the first time, didn't
No, he said 130.
He said 131.
Oh, used to be. Now, that's as is and was, okay? Same difference.
Y'all push
Yeah,
him,
well,
push him
I'm
out
still
of the
not
car
my
and
right.
take off. Push him out of the car and take off.
Please. Yes, sir.
Come on, Skeeter.
Boy, please move. Thank you for unloosening my handcuffs the first time, sir.
Listen, I'm not hard. I'm not hard to
I
get
know
along
you're
with.
not. I
We're
know
not
you're
hard
not.
to get
But
along with.
I know my rights. Okay. I'm not trying to be a hard
Hey,
nut.
go over that way.
I'm going to exercise my rights.
Go that way.
Okay. I'm sorry. It has to be that way because.
Never apologize to a tyrant. This guy is even though he's being a nice guy, and I can see how people would cave in and go, come on, man, they were joking around. He's a good old boy. This is great. Never let your guard down. That's what they expect. That's what they anticipate. That's what they're trained to do, is make you, drop your defenses, drop your freedom defenses. I can't give these people a pass anymore. There's too many Daniel Shavers, too many James Boyds, too many Philando Castiles and Eric Garners and a plethora of other people out there who are no longer alive today because they trusted law enforcement. Think about it. Eric Garner got choked out for selling cigarettes on a street corner in New York. Philando Castile got snuffed out because he was reaching for his concealed carry permit per the request of the officer. Daniel Shaver got gunned down in the La Quinta Inn in Mesa, Arizona, as he was trying to obey these rapid fire orders from Officer Philip Brailsford, who, by the way, was acquitted. So there's just too many of those things for me to sidestep this and give these badge tyrants a pass. I just can't do it anymore. Because I feel like if I do that, then I'm giving in to tyranny. I don't just feel like it. I am giving in to tyranny. Don't apologize to a tyrant for holding the line for rights, for standing against the floodgates of tyranny and trying to hold it back, like the Hoover Dam holds back water.
Yes, sir. See, I'm not being aggressive. I'm not. I might be intoxicated. So what? I still know my rights.
Let's get up to 400 likes, guys. 400 likes. There's 364 in here right now.
But we come up here and we
Hit that like button.
You gotta answer those questions. That's what's gonna get you in
Go.
trouble.
No, sir, I do not. Sorry about that. I will let you know. No, sir, that is not happening here.
No,
What
sir.
you heard is bogus. Ain't that what we tried to tell them?
Absolutely.
Yes or no?
Yes.
We tried to say, no, nothing like that's happening here.
Yeah, don't give an inch.
Well, it doesn't matter the fact. Look, you let go. I went to multiple calls.
Oh, I know I'm
No,
right.
listen to me, because
Here we go, directed.
Just listen.
We had go to multiple calls, and everybody
Just
says
listen.
all right, and they're getting abused. All right, so we got to investigate the case. I can't just go off. Hey, you saying that everything's all right, and the kids are saying something else. You get what I'm saying? But you did not give us a chance to. You coming at us very aggressive. So that's what we had to do. What we
No,
had to
sir,
do.
it was not very, was it any, I went and grabbed my phone. As soon as y'all pulled up here, I saw y'all coming. I went straight in and grabbed my phone, okay? I was not aggressive, no way, shape, or form. Y'all demanded ID. No, you cannot.
All right, you're going to jail. Give me ID.
Okay, under what suspicious reason?
Because
Give me an articulate.
Give him your ID.
Give me ID.
Give
me your ID.
Give me a reason. What
Give me ID.
what crime have I committed?
Do not forget this. Do not forget. Thanks for 401 likes, guys. Who is the 400th person to like? I know that's kind of hard to tell, but thank you, guys. I appreciate the 400 likes. Let's go on with this. Do not forget that they transgressed against this guy. They committed evil against this guy. They committed criminal activity against this guy who they wanted to ID. And the only reason they did it is because he didn't ID himself. Somebody said, look up the Loveland police arrest a teen for slapping or whatever. Now there's a lawsuit. Okay, I'll probably do that in a different video. I want to keep this on a standalone video, but thanks for letting me know that.
Y'all put hands on me.
Oh, is this Montgomery County, North Carolina? Sorry, I kept calling it Montgomery, Alabama, didn't I? Is this Montgomery County, North Carolina? Okay. Thanks for the correction.
I did not to give you my ID. I did not have to. I do not have to.
After I tried to talk to you and figure out what's going on,
you're still not letting me finish.
Well, you're not letting us finish. We're not
Because I started.
We're not children.
We're not children. We're tyrants.
Let's go. What gets you in trouble is you come to my private residence and accuse me of something I haven't done. And then put hands on and violate me. That is called assault and battery. That is called assault and
we
battery.
didn't accuse of anything. I asked you
That's
for
right.
your ID more than twice.
Okay, and
you
what
said no.
statute is that for me to have to do that?
You don't give me ID, you're going to jail. That is
Should I
true.
give you my ID?
No, sir.
You're not going to get it either. I don't give a damn. You still ain't getting it. Buddy, do you know how much trouble you're in right now? You put your damn hands on me. Yeah.
I put my hands on plenty of
I already got your name and badge number on recording. And you was the first aggressor. You come at me. You put hands on me because I did not ID you.
There you go. That's right.
I don't care what your sergeant says. I know what my United States Constitution said to me.
Good for him.
To we all the taxpayers, we the people. We the people.
NC Tyrant Hunter.
All right, so this was NC Tyrant Hunter. NC Tyrant Hunter, thank you for putting out this video and alerting me to it. This is just to recap, guys. How can you enforce a law while remaining ignorant of the law? How does an intoxicated man know the law better than a professional law enforcer? And what honor should be bestowed on somebody who not only resists the pressure of his family to just cave, just give your ID, but also not cave under the pressure of tyrants who are threatening bodily harm to you and possibly loss of property by exacting economic terrorism on you? What honor should be bestowed on somebody like this guy, this older gentleman right here, who held the line against tyranny? This is crazy. I got a call. We have an anonymous caller. They said something was going down. Does not trump individual rights. If you can see that criminal activity has happened or is happening, then take action against the criminal activity. You and I want actions taken against criminals who are committing criminal activity. It doesn't have to be from a law enforcer. You can do it yourself. If there was a legitimate use for law enforcement, it would be to actually take down criminal activity, not create criminals out of people who are just peaceful individuals who want to be left alone. So guys, thank you for this. I will take a look at, we'll have to do a separate live stream on the Long Island audit arrest and this thing that happened in Loveland, Colorado with the teen whose parents are now suing because of an arrest for a slap. So I haven't looked into it yet. I'll take a look at it. We'll try to do a live stream. We're at 58 minutes right now. I'm going to try to keep under a minute. If you want to support this channel, one of the best things you can do is give that like button some love right now. 444 likes. I really appreciate that. Share this video with everybody you can on social media. And if you want to support the channel further, grab a hard-hitting conversation starting shirt from the shirt store that you can put on a shirt, hoodie, mug, or whatever. And or support through Cash App or whatever you want to do, guys. But the best support is just giving a like and a share. I will see you guys in the next heavily censored Shadow Ban live stream. Have a good day.